I played every free Quest 2 game, so you don't have to. Over the last few days, my Quest 2 has been borderline overheating, downloading every free Quest 2 game that I can get my hands on while I melt my fucking eyeballs out of their socket playing every single one of them. So today, I'm wrapping up my experience with each of them up into this video so you can decide which free Quest 2 games are best for you to download your shiny new Quest 2, as well as highlighting some that pushed me further into insanity than seeing that Mark Zuckerberg uses sweet baby raised barbecue sauce as our fucking book weight.
I can't believe this game exists.
So, let me be clear as to how I went about doing this before we get started here. I downloaded every free game on the Quest Store that was, to start with, an actual game. So, work-based apps, free games that are actually just subscription services in disguise, 360 videos, VR documentaries, demos like First Steps or First Contact, as well as games that were predominantly just social spaces or streaming services, were all obviously excluded from this. I have also decided to exclude VRchat and Recroom and EchoVR, as it would be ridiculous for me to talk about these games that you're likely fully aware of for the 4 billionth time. And if I'm completely honest, I didn't want to bear the squeaker hell that is Recroom.
No, that's bad.
I've also cut out the games that I played that just weren't particularly interesting, as I had to slog through some algebra level boring games that would grind this entire video to a halt if I mentioned them. Apple App games, meaning games that are currently not on the official Quest Store yet due to being unfinished or small indie titles, were also excluded from this as well. Though that's not to discredit any of the games on Apple App, as many are truly amazing indie experiences that deserve their own attention. But if I was to include Apple App games in this video, it'd be nearly 20 hours long. Nearly as long as Mark Spence putting on this fucking sunscreen. Also, since there's no dedicated free apps section on the Quest, I had to go through each category separately, scrolling through it, hitting get on each free game that I saw. And because of this, there's likely some games that I missed. Though I definitely did not miss Kizuna AI Touched the Beat, because I'll never forget that fucking transcendent experience that we're about to talk about. So I got every free game that I could physically see with my own eyes that was available to me on the Quest Store, and I am physically drained, in pain. My day is ruined. Okay, with that disclaimer faster than your mom out of the way, let's get on with the video. Each game will get a ranking from 1 to 10. 1 being, I've lost all hope in humanity, I can't stop crying while looking at pictures of Mark Zuckerberg, and 10 being, holy shit, this game is actually pretty good, what the fuck? Making this video was a colossal pain in the ass, and I felt like I was on the brink of a total mental breakdown at a few points, so a like and sub would be a much appreciated morale boost after having played this fucking gem. So, starting with Epic Roller Coasters. This game actually seriously took me by surprise. Epic Roller Coasters takes the honestly worn out and straight up motion sickness inducing roller coaster demos that you've probably seen countless times in mobile VR headsets, to a point where even seeing a roller coaster gives you a Google Cardboard flashback. And turns it into a surprisingly fun shooter. That is, if you're playing the shooter game mode. You shoot actually pretty fast moving targets while dipping in and out of the limited amount of slow-mo meter that you have while on a roller coaster. It's fun, albeit a little bit too fun, as I'm unsure about how much playtime you actually get out of this, as it probably gets old pretty fast, especially with the amount of content that's locked behind a paywall.
So, you have to buy the guns?
Honestly, although I'm including this game, it's a little more like a demo here. There's also still the basic old Google Cardboard-esque roller coaster game mode where you literally do nothing but get sick. Though there is a race mode where you can control the actual fucking roller coaster like some psychopath, and if you go too fast, you can die. Though what I didn't so much appreciate was the in-game tinnitus, or tinnitus. I'm gonna use tinnitus. Okay. Whenever I was on the main menu, I was getting a constant painful ringing coming from the Quest speakers. In-game, this went away and wasn't a problem at all, but for some reason, this main menu triggered this bug even when I restarted the game multiple times. Epic Roller Coasters, although surprisingly genuinely fun, is held down by its constant paywalls and horrendous tinnitus-inducing main menu and muddy graphical quality. Epic Roller Coasters gets a 4 out of 10 on this list. Next up is Kizuna AI Touch the Beat. Jesus Christ. I'm ashamed that I even have this permanently listed on my Oculus account, because once you uninstall any free game, I still have to look at it in my game library. Kizuna AI Touch the Beat is a surprisingly creative rhythm game, as said by an actual serious review written by a real person on the Quest Store. That's how the future looks like. Random bracket. In Kizuna AI, you hit color coordinated blocks coming towards you, similar to Beat Saber. It's satisfying enough to keep you somewhat engaged, and they move slow enough that you can work in some dance moves and full 360s if you're into that. You do all of this with the objective of, and I honestly couldn't believe it when I realized this in game, with the objective of moving this anime girl as close as humanly possible to you. I'm not fucking joking.
I gotta get a higher combo so she comes closer to me. You're so close. I can almost touch you. You know what I hate about this? Is part of me actually enjoys this game. She's so close. Why do you take her from me? Why do you take...
The entire objective is to get this chick as close to you as humanly possible. The more notes that you hit correctly, the closer that she comes to you. If you miss even a single note, she shoots away from you and you gotta restart the whole process of reeling this in. I hate to admit it, but it's kind of fun. Kizuna AI touched the beat for its honestly, genuinely creepy objective, but weirdly fun and engaging gameplay mechanics. Gets a 3 out of 10 on this list. Jesus Christ, I don't even want to keep going here. Next up is Bogo. Bogo is a genuinely fun and wholesome VR experience. It's definitely geared more towards users that have never played VR before. You get to interact within your play area with this adorable little motherfucker. You give him food, you pet him, you make food that then makes him evolve and then further evolves the worlds around you, which then gives you access to more mini games to play with this adorable guy. As much as I hate it, this is gonna sound like some boogie woogie baby wavy shit, but this game actually made me feel something for this little guy, and for that, this game 0 out of 10. Don't you dare make me care for a virtual lizard. You know, a Mark Zuckerberg edition of this game would be fucking incredible, where you feed him sweet baby raised barbecue sauce. Seriously though, Bogo is a genuinely fun little experience and a great one for new VR players, and it gets a 6 out of 10. Next up is The Under Presents. I gotta get serious for this one. The Under Presents is a truly astoundingly creative and atmospheric game, and I am completely blown away. From the art style, the character design, the atmosphere, the movement mechanics, and then there's the mind fuck that is the actual gameplay. The movement system is a form of teleporting where you grab the world in front of you and pull yourself towards it. It feels natural and kind of like you have some sort of X-Men like teleportation power. But what absolutely mind fucked me beyond belief was that I initially thought that I was playing with other players, but my game kept getting reset after a certain time limit. And each time I reset, I saw more and more players, until eventually I realized that the other players were me from earlier. It's a fucking crazy realization that the entire time that you were waving to yourself from the past, and then seeing yourself a moment ago waving to another version of yourself from the past, and then seeing the version of you that figured out that it's you, then seeing you react to you reacting to the fact that you see what I mean? It is trippy as and caught me by total surprise. Eventually you learn to help yourself, like here where I spun this thing to allow future me to be lowered down. It's a fantastic gameplay mechanic that truly blew my mind. You're then let into an open world where you can meet other players in order to help each other solve the mysteries of the world, which would be great if there were actually any players. At least when I played, I found absolutely no one and had no clue what to do. You can cast spells and control time in order to uncover the game's story while following a cast of characters where you can alter their fate within the story along a range of different and changing gameplay elements mixed with some multiplayer gameplay. It's a trippy and very, very well made experience, and it's probably one of the most creative games I've ever played in VR. Actually, it's probably the most creative game that I have ever played, period. Though it is worth noting that some of the game's content is locked behind a paywall. The Under Presents gets a 7 out of 10 on this list, the highest rated game on this list so far. Next up is Half Plus Half. Half Plus Half is fucking astoundingly beautiful. It's got a simplistic yet engaging art style, multiplayer, and a range of atmospheric and relaxing game modes. From one where you literally just swim around, to another where you glide around with a friend, to an O-shaped style mini game, hide and seek, and a few others. Each of the game's different mechanics are all well thought out and very creatively implemented. This is the sort of game that I'd play with my mom or a family member to get them into VR for the first time. Not that that's a bad thing about this game, that it's simple, but just that it's so engaging and very well thought out and quite easy for an average person and non-VR user to pick up and play. Part of what makes it so great is its simplicity. The audio design is great too. It's a very smart way of dealing with squeakers by making anyone who isn't in your party just sound like baby and literally just have all their voice chat lines come out as baby noises. Half Plus Half takes the highest ranking yet with an 8 out of 10 on this list. Next up is Maloka. Maloka is a simple meditation slash game experience, you complete meditation sessions to grow and develop your island, as well as evolving your spirit companion. Maloka very intelligently gamifies meditation, but in a way that's not disruptive or degrading of the actual meditation experiences themselves. From great visuals to immersive and trippy sounds, Maloka is just riding that edge between a game and an experience, so it just about makes it onto this list.
They say we are what we repeatedly do.
What do I repeatedly do? So I'm a one wheel? I identify as a one wheel now.
Don't believe me?
I go by one
All your
slash wheel.
choices you've ever made.
Maloka gets a 7 out of 10 on this list. Next up is Gun Raiders. Gun Raiders has featured on this channel before, and it's because it's a fucking good game. It's a great arcadey multiplayer shooter that has progressively gotten better as it gets relatively regularly updated. The gameplay is a nice mix between something like Titanfall and its gunplay. You have a jetpack that allows you to fly around for a limited amount of time, as well as boost evade. This provides some fantastic gameplay elements when paired with Gun Raiders' great climbing mechanic. I also appreciate that the game's main menu is essentially just a big playground of an arena where you can just casually fight other players, and it gets an easy 8 out of 10 on this list. Next up is PokerStars VR. Now, I have to make it clear, I'm not promoting gambling in any way whatsoever at all. Not doing that. No. This game is 18 plus, but to the best of my knowledge, doesn't actually use real money outside of an option to pay for extra chips. I'd kind of like the option to use real money, if I'm totally honest. PokerStars is a great way to relax with some friends or just some random users as you play a game of poker or blackjack or whatever the other things are called. I've spent hours playing this game with users from my Discord. Discord.gg/GetHip, nearly 8k members. Also, while you're at it, maybe check out my Twitch, twitch.tv/GetHip. Just saying, I'm nearly a Twitch partner, or don't, that's fine. I still love you no matter what. It's all good. PokerStars, as fun as it can be, does have some serious issues right now. From blackjack being painfully unfair to the servers being jank as all hell. I mean, for footage for this video, I can't even get into a single game of poker. I really hope that these issues are ironed out, because right now it is actually kind of tough to recommend this game at all. PokerStars would get a 7 out of 10 on this list, but due to the current abysmal state of the game, it is getting a 5 out of 10 for now. Pixie game, please. Next up is FitXR. FitXR is a genuinely solid workout experience and fun game. From dance classes to boxing, this game is legit fun and will make you sweat on some of the harder difficulties within seconds. Like these squats. This I work out every day in my own time doing functional strength training. Like I do exercise, but these squats, mate, Jesus Christ. The point is, this game is not fucking around at all and isn't gonna hold your hand on some of these higher difficulties. It's fun, engaging, and looks very solid on the Quest 2. My only issues that I have is a lot of the instructors feel like they have a gun to their head when they're recording some of their voice lines. At least the workouts I played, the voice lines sounded a little stilted and straight up irritating. The menu also doesn't make any sense to me. The images for each workout don't seem to correlate at all to the actual workout. They're just like people doing random poses for no reason. And I would also like some form of live multiplayer if it's not in the game already. I say that because the multiplayer game that I played was actually a pre-recorded multiplayer, which was definitely a little weird, and I didn't see any obvious option to play with live players. Perhaps that's my fault. Perhaps I'm a moron. I mean, I am a moron, but I didn't see an option for it when I played. FitXR gets an 8 out of 10 on this list. Next up is Elixir. Elixir is one of the few games on Quest that takes full advantage of hand tracking. You play the entire game, in fact, with hand tracking, casting spells, interacting with cauldrons, becoming Wolverine.
Elixir for being a legitimately fun and engaging look into the future of hand-based gameplay in VR,
but just barely makes it onto this list because it's basically a demo, probably the most demo game on this list, and I don't know if it's exactly fair that I included it on here, but we're gonna ignore that and give it a rating anyway. It gets a 7 out of 10 on this list. Next up is Neverboard. I'd love to give this game a true rating, but unfortunately you need friends to play this, and not a single one of my Oculus friends have this game downloaded, nor does there seem to be any public multiplayer, at least that I noticed. So Neverboard, although looking to be a genuinely fun board game experience that visually looks pretty good on Quest with friends, gets a no friends out of 10 feels bad man on this list. Finding, downloading, and playing all of these games was seriously draining, so if my suffering was at all useful to you, a like and sub would be much appreciated. Thank you for getting to this point in the video. I really do appreciate it. You keep my watch time high and you keep this channel afloat. I love you all. I know I say it every video, but I mean it. Thanks for watching. Peace. Bye-bye. Also, please come follow my Twitch. I know I beg every single end of the video, but nearly at Twitch partner. Just need the average 75 viewers on Twitch. Come check out my Twitch. I hopefully talk about some interesting stuff on there that maybe you would like, and talk about VR stuff, and it's just like a cool chill place. Check out my Twitch, please. Please check out my Twitch, please. Also, I got a Discord. Nearly 8k members on the Discord. If you want to join the Discord, please join the Discord. You can ask me questions and hang out with an awesome community there, as well as my Instagram, where I post a ton of my personal life and doing one-wheel tricks and 360s and stuff. So if you like cool one-wheel tech and VR stuff and me, maybe, Instagram's the place to be, as well as my Twitter. All right, I post memes to my Twitter. Please follow my Twitter so I get more likes, please. Thank you. Okay, I'm gonna go now. Bye-bye.